Welcome back to another fishing episode back on Lake Macquarie. Today, a little bit breezier than what I thought, but been up on the flats, had a bit of a look around, saw some big girls cruising, could not get them to bite them. I'm gonna whack some footage up of that through the video because it was pretty cool. Unfortunately, didn't get any bites or fish, but anyway, I know they're there, so I'm going to keep on persisting at that one. But what I might do, I'm just going to work this little edge of the shallows here, see if I can pick a few fish up. I do want to take a couple home today, so that is the goal, come out for a bit of a feed. So hopefully we can get that done. But stay tuned, team, we'll see how we go. Alrighty, just running the edge of these flats here. I'm just going to be running this little 4-inch paddle tail plastic with a little 3/8 jig head. Run outside through here, probably towards the tail end of the run out too. So just bounce it through these scattered weed beds, see whether there's any fish floating around. Some kind of a bite first cast. Well, this breeze has certainly picked up. Didn't think it was going to be this bad today. We might have to make a strategic move. Well, she's a bit more comfortable over this side. The old Wangi Point windbreak working nicely. So giving up on those edges, too windy out there. Don't like it, fair weather fisherman. So I'm going to fish over here and persist with getting a feed today. See how we go. Oh, you'd be pleased to know that I did retire the old Luvius. So I was worried that I was going to get a failure. So brought the old Caldia out, take its place. And mind these little reels. See if we can get some fish. Just going to jump a few spots out of this breeze and see if I can find some fish. There's not much going on the sounder down here, so not overly hopeful at this spot, but it's definitely worth going back to places where you have picked up fish. They will sit down there. I'm not going to chase the bait around all the time. There's a bite. Right under my feet too. Only just got him pinned. Well, looks like we're eating. Nice. Probably just on the cusp of the size that I'll keep too, so we'll put him in the live well for now. But if we get one that's a little bit smaller, we'll probably keep that. It's probably about 50 this one, so put some water in the live well. We'll keep him alive. Yeah, about 48 centimetres. That's not nice eating fish. So yeah, I'll stick him in the live well, keep him alive. I really like having the live well on the boat. That way you can pick and choose. If we catch a couple of fish, we can choose what fish we want. The others can go back nice and healthy. So that was on that 125 yakka that I like. Done the job. And as I said, there's not much going on in the sounder there. Like, kind of just went here because I know that it does hold fish. So if you can't find bait, just try and go back to those spots that you are confident with and put the cast in, and yeah, generally speaking, you will pick up a fish. Oh, ha, Taylor, piss off, mate. Oh, bite. That was like a tiny little nibble as it hit the bottom. Oh, he spat it. That quite well have been the smallest flathead that's currently in Lake Macquarie. Oh, that literally got a bite as soon as it touched the top of the surface. Oh, there's a bite. Not a bad fish. Just about made an absolute meal of that. Not a bad fish though. Nice little flatty. Just on the edge of that cockle bed. You can go straight back where you came from, son. See, dude? Just down south, trying to tuck away from that wind, but it looks like that wind shifted a little bit, but lucky it's dropped, so should give us a little bit more time in the water down here. But it is going to rip up this afternoon, so nice to get a few fish down here before that wind bloody gets up. Get back home and have a bit of a cook up. Thought that was William Powerfish then, coming so close to the boat. Love Lake Mac. Big shark cruising around. Oh, what the hell? Didn't even feel that. Must have hit it on the drop. Very small fish. Literally just getting the camera set up. Must have landed on its melon. Straight in, mate. Straight in. Oop. Just legal, but I'll let him grow up a bit bigger. See, dude? Oh, geez, there's a bite. Nice. Another little flatty. He launched himself at that, I'll tell you. Good to get another fish on the board though, it's been a minute. Another little tacker, but I'm thinking he can go back, do some growing. See, dude? Alrighty, getting pretty close to calling it. The wind's picking up. She's quieting right off. Just draining the kill tank now. I'll get that little flatty dispatched and then get him on ice, ready to prepare him. But probably head back to the ramp shortly, so the next time you see me, I'll be in the kitchen. Alrighty, we have liftoff. Flatty searching. Didn't take too long until we found our first flatty. Cruising along the weed bed there. Come in for a bit of a look. Just cruising around though, so I was hoping that it was going to pull up somewhere so I can have a throw at it. But it was on a bit of a mission. She was just cruising around. They do seem to hang around with all of the stingrays. You can see that one there in the top right hand corner. It's just cruising up around there. There's a few other fish kicking around in there too. Whiting brim. But here she is just cruising over to another stingray. You'll see a bit later, one of the other flatties also goes over to one of the stingrays. So whether that's a common thing or not sure. But then I found this other one just cruising around. It was out in the open. Kind of parked up for a bit. And then I didn't see this until I was editing. But then another bigger flathead comes through on that bottom left there. Dwarfs that other thing. But I'm not sure, when I was on the drone, I think I might have thought that it was just that bigger one that I was following.
didn't realise that the smaller one just shuffled itself into the sand. And then the big one does it, and then the little one. So it's hard to tell on the drone, but yeah, there's a few flatties up there. But yeah, that big one there, that's the one that I'm dialing in onto now. It's a really good fish. But yeah, all of these fish that I found on the flats, they're always moving around. Like that thing just looked like it got spooked. Just didn't really seem to settle. Couldn't really put it down to anything because I'm nowhere near this in the boat. I'm like hundreds of metres away from these fish at the moment. So just trying to get a bit of a gauge on what their habits are and their patterns to try and target these things. But check this out. It comes straight across, straight up, and basically I'm pretty sure the stingray goes over the top of it. Not sure what doing. Just saying hello to each other. And then he's out of there. Pretty wild though, eh? Heaps of stingrays up there. Obviously they kind of hunt in the same areas, but yeah, very, very cool. Welcome to the kitchen, guys. Tonight we're going to be cooking that little flatty we caught this morning. So we're going to do some fish tacos. Generally, I don't really keep that many fish. I think this is the second fish that I've kept for this whole flatty series on YouTube. So what we'll do, we'll make up some fish tacos tonight. Generally, when my brother comes down and we go for a fish, we like to make this fish taco recipe. It does change a little bit, but this is what we're running with tonight. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make up a seasoning blend with the flour that I'm going to dunk the fillets in. Then it'll go into a egg wash, and then it'll be wrapped in the panko breadcrumbs. I'll have a combination of some barbecued sweet corn, which I'll get in shortly. Got some sweet peas, avo, lime, some coleslaw, and some coriander that I managed to get out of the garden. Then that's going to be topped off with some Kewpie mayo, some sweet soy, and some Tabasco. So should be schmicko. Anyway, the barbie's on, so I'll get this sweet corn onto it and get it nice and charred, and then we'll get into cooking this flatty up. Righto, while our sweet corn on the barbecue's cooking, I might make up our seasoning for the fish. Get that tossed in there, and then I might do some prep with the sugar peas as well. But I suppose first things first, better stay hydrated. Big morning this morning. Cheers, guys. We didn't set the lake on fire this morning, but I mean, we did get a few fish. There was some really cool footage up on the flats. One thing that I didn't notice at the time, obviously, but when I was looking back at some of the footage, basically I missed a great opportunity with a massive flatty that was right near the boat, and I hadn't seen it because usually I'm just looking at the controller on the drone. So I'll throw the drone up, and I'm having a look around, and legit just missed it. Couldn't see it. It's a bit glary with that drone controller, so yeah, I just totally missed it. But legitimately, it was like super close. I'll inlay the footage now, but so close to the boat, and I could have had a couple of really good casts at it. But I spent a lot of time chasing flatties around, and they were just, I don't know, a bit spooky up on the flats. They wouldn't settle. They settled down a couple of times, and then they'd just get back up and shoot back off. So by the time I found them, pinpointed them, and then tried to get the boat into a position where I could get some casts at them, they were gone. So yeah, missed a really good opportunity there, but it was cool to see the big girls up on the flat. And it's just something different with the drone, finding them like that. It's a little bit like a live scope, I suppose, but yeah, a bit different. It's in the air. But you know, using technology to try and find those fish, and even though you can see the fish, super hard, especially on those flats. Lake Macquarie flats, so spooky, those fish. So many boats on here, and yeah, as soon as they get any kind of noise, gone. So you miss your opportunity. But anyway, it was fun. So what I'm going to do now, I'll just get this little seasoning together. So I've just got a little bit of flour in here. What I'm going to do is use Cajun and cumin. So that's the two seasonings that I'm going to use to then coat this fish. That'll be the initial layer in there. So I'm not measuring this stuff out. I'll just whack some in there. I do want it pretty punchy though. Like you want to have some kind of flavour in there. So I'll whack some of that in there too. Cool. I'm just going to use one of these Glad bags. Whack it into the old Glad bag. That way when I coat the fish, it's a really good coating around it, nice and even. Just mix that up. There's the flatty fillets there. So basically what I'll do, I won't scale it or gut it. I'll just run the fillets off it and then peel the skin off at the ramp. When I come back, whack these in the fridge. As it cools down, the texture gets a bit firmer. It's a bit easier to get those bones out. So these will be boneless fillets, but what I'll do, I'll just cut these into smaller portions, get it into that bag, give it a shake around, coat it, and get it ready to whack it in the egg wash and then crumb it. So these snow peas, I'm just going to run them in tiny little slivers like that, just to give it a nice different flavour and texture as well. Probably only need half the avo, so we'll prep that up. How do I always manage to get the sticker? Every time. Beautiful. Righto, so I managed to portion up that fish. So I've got 6 nice little portions of fish there. So whack these in. We'll get a really good coverage of seasoning across these fish here. So we'll set that aside for now. Super fast, this recipe, so as soon as the corn's done, then we can start cooking the fish, and then it's just basically assemble it and enjoy. I'll go see how the corn's going. I bloody knew that I should have kept an eye on the corn. Probably took the corn a little bit too far. I didn't plan that. I was going to have this later, but I thought it just worked well with the whole corn thing. I know, it's a bit corny, but hopefully he's got a laugh out of it. Pretty sure this is coriander. It's just growing in the garden. Righto, the corn's done. Well, as done as it's going to be tonight, because yeah, ran out of gas. That's a bit awkward. The only catch and cook I do, and we ran out of. Anyway, so we've got a bit of corn that's cooked, so we'll use that, which would be nice. Turns out it takes a long time to cook. Way longer than what I thought. Anyway, we'll get on to getting this fish prepared. So, give that little egg a bit of a tune up there. Then, using the panko breadcrumbs. So, we'll put enough in here to it's quite pretty open this. We'll put enough in here to coat these fish. Oh, it's probably plenty. And we'll keep the rest of it. I'll put the oil on. So we're just going to shallow fry this. I'm not going to deep fry it. A little bit of oil in this little pan here, and then we'll just brown it off each side. So what we're going to do, dust off these. So nice coating all over that fish. Whack her into the old egg wash. Straight into the pankos. Give her a little bit of a coating. And she's good to go. Up, ready to go. Oil's on, hot, ready to rock and roll. So let's get it in the pan. Should not take long to get this done. Beautiful. Alrighty guys, flatties are all cooked up. Look at that, beautiful crisp pankos. Now if you guys haven't had these, do yourself a favour and get these tortillas. They are bloody good. We love them. We always use them. But I'm salivating, so let's plate up. This looks delicious. A little bit of Kewpie. Back a little bit of coleslaw in there. A couple of nice crispy snow peas. Oh, this is looking good. Right, let's put some ovo in. Bit of our corn. The corn actually worked out quite well. I was worried it wasn't going to be cooked, but it's nice and charred and it's texturally cooked through, so it should be delicious. Nice little additive on there. I don't put too much stuff in there because it'll take away from the fish. But let's whack our beautiful little flatty pieces on. Oh, look at this. Stop it. Seriously. Alright, a little bit of Tabasco in there, bit of heat. Ooh, yum. Let's get our sweet soy on there. Bit of Kewpie. And then a little bit of coriander over the top. Hope it's coriander. I just kind of found it in the garden. We'll just run with it. A little bit of lime. And then she is good to go. Righto, enough time video on this thing. Time to get it into our laughing gear. Oh, looks so good. Oh, stop it. You guys, if you're out in Lake Macquarie and you do take a couple of fish home, you need to do this. Get this into you. It is absolutely delicious. Right, guys, thanks for watching the video. Something different today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you click that like button and hit the subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. I love making them. So if you like it, do that for me. Make the channel grow and there'll be more of this stuff. Anyway, till next time, guys, hook in. Shit, that is good. Ah, why do I throw all these fish back for? That is delicious.
This is lemon berry.
Oh, you do.